wake up in the morning, I open my eyes. What the day brings is a surprise. No two are the same, it's the truth I say. A curious mind keeps me coming back every day. I just want to see what's coming around the bend, never wanting it to end. Life's mystery. I surrender to the flow. Thoughts create my journey, some good, some topsy-turvy on this epic adventure. I know I will grow, I will grow, I will grow. Every day through the window I say thanks to your morning glory. The actions I do, the thoughts that come through add to my life story. My life story. Let's be grateful for what's in our life. The consequence, less strife. Remembering we can choose love and laughter beats singing the blues. I just want to see what's coming around the bend, never wanting it to end. Life's a mystery. I surrender to the flow. Thoughts create my journey, some good, some topsy-turvy on this epic adventure. I know I will grow, 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 I will grow.
Oh, well, Pierre, that's a great opener. I again, they're so thick with lyric that are like truth, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I will go with the flow. Sometimes topsy turvy. I mean, it's really, and your music does that. Your music brings this whole level of hearing the words differently. So sometimes sometimes what I find, Pierre, is actually I will go back and listen to the lyrics of your music and go, oh my God, that was even closer than, to what we were actually talking about than I'd even heard initially, right? So that's a great gift you have there, sir.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure to bring it to you and to the masses.
Absolutely. And the masses are responding. So just know that.
That's nice to hear.
All right. Well, we'll catch up a little bit later, sir. And
Okay.
Thank you for that.
We'll see.
I just want to say, everybody, welcome to this Global Truth Center broadcast, whether you call it your midweek boost or whether you call it your, whenever you had to be watching it, is the right time for you. So I'm trusting and knowing that for you, you're showing up here on time, on purpose, and that you have, something in your life that will shift as a result of you showing up here. This is not sort of just, although it is, kind of passive watching because we're speaking, it's also participatory, and that means taking actions in your life. That means using it in some way. So I trust to know that everything that happened before this moment is now gone. Just be fully present right here, right now, and allow whatever needs to come up. Whether you're going through some changes in your life, whether you're just embracing, whether you're just on this amazing journey that we call life, and you're just here to enjoy that, trust and know that you will hear something that will perhaps shift of consciousness for you, or bring you to a place of understanding something that might be different. That is what we're here to do. And I'm truly grateful for these teachings that basically apply to everybody in life. It's just a common human mystic experience. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for, our musician who shows up. I'm grateful for the practitioner who shows up and does a meditation and takes you through a guided meditation. And just grateful for the technology that allows us to broadcast it out. So that just know that you're hearing it when you need to hear it, and you're hearing the message that you need to hear. So trust and allow that. Have faith in that. And and with that, I would love to bring on somebody who is always often in the background of the technology of our center, and that is the amazing Carrie Garnier. Hello, Carrie.
Hello.
It is so nice to have you here tonight as a practitioner. You are a certified practitioner, and for those of people who don't know, treatment is or practice as a practitioner, we do treatments or affirmative prayer or whatever name we give it. And that's just the movement of energy to a desired outcome. Just think of it like that. It's nothing big and scary. And Carrie, you're one of the people who are brilliant at manifesting. So really glad that you're here tonight. And you and I will catch up after this fabulous meditation that I'm looking forward to experiencing.
Excellent.
And so I will see you after your meditation.
Perfect. All right. I'm just going to take a moment here, and I'm going to ask you to take a moment here to become familiar with your breath and how it's moving today. And there's no right or wrong to that. Just take a moment to become aware of it. Today, I thought that we would do a meditation about releasing and do some practice. So again, take in another breath. And as you release it, just be aware that you're releasing. So release starts even on the breath level. Our bodies know how to take in what's needed and how to release what's not needed. Our lungs take in the oxygen, release carbon dioxide. Our bodies know what to take in and what to release. So today, let's do a bit of practice with our minds about what might release be, or what might it look like, what might it feel like. So the first thing I want you to focus on is something easy to release. Let's start easy. Maybe you get flyers in your mail. Maybe there's some paper clutter on the table right inside your front door. Just imagine something that you're not particularly attached to in any way. And it's pretty easy to release it. So just imagine taking those flyers and putting them in your recycle bin. Blessing them, knowing those flyers are for somebody else, but not for you, and that's okay. And just feel how it feels to release something you're not overly attached to, and just feel the lightening of yourself when that happens. And now let's imagine something that might be a little more difficult. Perhaps you have a drawer in your home that just collects things and you haven't opened it in a while. That might have things in it that could be easy to release because you don't actually use them. when I was moving, I would have boxes that I hadn't been through in a while, and they were pretty easy to go through and release because, again, the box had been closed for a couple of years. I didn't need those things. Perhaps somebody said something today earlier on, not somebody close to you, but somebody at a distance that kind of hit you the wrong way. So it might be a little difficult to let it go, but what if it weren't too hard to let it go? Maybe that comment of what they said was nothing to do with you. And just breathe into whatever it is that's a little difficult to let go of. And then just imagine letting it go. And how does it feel to let go of something that's a little difficult to let go of? And just breathe into whatever's happening in your body as you allow in that possibility and contemplate on it. And now on the next breath, perhaps bring something to mind that's moderately difficult. And this would be so individual, so different for everybody. Maybe it's clothes that you don't wear anymore, but you don't want to get rid of them because they remind you of good memories. Maybe there's beliefs you're wanting to release, but they're a little sticky. They're a little bit of who you are. Maybe there's a habit that you have, and you can feel that habit's dragging you down. But it's been your friend. It's been in your life. And just be with something that might be a little more difficult to let go of. And just breathe into that. Be curious about that. Is it ready to shift? Is it ready to let go? Are you ready to be that person without that object? Without that habit, without that belief? Is there a replacement that's ready to just slide in there? And you can be a person with a new habit or a new belief. And what if removing something from your closet made room for something new to come into your closet? And just allow yourself to sit with that possibility of something moderately difficult to get rid of. And see what's happening in your body. Do you notice the pull to keep it, to hold it, to not let it go yet? Or is it ready to go? Are you ready for that stretch? And there is no right or wrong. Either is perfectly valid in this moment. So we get to be with exactly what shows up, regardless of what it is. And just breathe into that moment. And release your breath. And if that was something that was ready to be let go, you can just wish it well and on its way. And if it's something that's not ready to go yet, you can be gentle with yourself. You can hold it. and know that there's something still there for you. And that's okay. Absolutely brilliant. Now I'd like you to think about something that's very difficult to get rid of. And these could be mementos from family members, from loved ones. And they could be people who are still with us, or they could be people who have transitioned out of our lives and off of this plane of existence. Perhaps there's beliefs that do not serve you, but are attached to who you are or how you see yourself. Maybe it's something you're not even sure if it's possible to let go of. Maybe you're not sure if it's possible for you to let go of. Maybe you don't feel strong enough to let go of. Maybe you wonder who you'd be letting down if you let go of. And perhaps you might even wonder who you are if you let this go. And just be with this thing that is more difficult to let go of. And send this belief or this object or this could even be a person. Just send whatever that is love and compassion and understanding and curiosity. And the same for yourself. Give yourself love, compassion, and understanding and curiosity. And just see how it feels in your body. You know, there is a right time and a right season for everything. And we have so much wisdom in our bodies. We have so much wisdom that we can rely on from source, from spirit. And to this thing that seems too hard to let go of, can you allow in some space? Can you come to a place where there's a lighter grasp? Can you hold with less tenacity, with less need, with less veracity? I love this idea of the light grasp. Could you begin to think of whatever this is or whomever this is as somebody still attached, but looser, not as tight. And see how that feels in your body. See what happens. Is there any lighting? Is there any lifting? Is there any space? And just allow whatever is coming up to be exactly what it needs to be. And know that this something more difficult to let go of may be ready to go. Again, bless it and allow it to go. And if it's not quite ready, be open to this lighter grasp. All our lives are a transition and a journey. And even as we don't realize it, we're always releasing. We're releasing every moment. We're releasing every moment to step into the next moment and the next moment. So the process of releasing can become a practice. just like coming back to love, just like realizing that every word is a prayer, just like coming back to the present moment is where the magic is. So we can practice releasing with the easy things, and then the medium things, and then lightly grasping and slowly releasing the more difficult things. So now I want you to, wherever you are, just become aware of the room you're in. Allow yourself to come back to this present moment. Thank yourself for giving yourself this time. I thank you for trusting me on this journey. And I would just like to say, namaste.
I live, breathe, give and receive. I laugh, love. I'm a part of what's here and being, what's still to be seen. I live, breathe, I love, love, love. I live, breathe, I love. I am, I feel hurt and healed. I sing and play, live every day to be and see the best parts of me. I live, breathe, I love. I live, I breathe, I love.
Oh my gosh. Again, between the meditation, I'm ready to go. We're good. You know what? My power goes out. Who knows? I mean, I'm in the midst of that big storm that they're talking about right now. The skies here are completely black.
Oh,
And the rain is going sideways. So if you hear thunder and lightning, it's all special effects people.
exactly.
But that, you know what? Thank you, Pierre. That's a fabulous. I live, breathe, I receive. I just love the receptiveness of
Yeah.
that.
And it's so simple,
That's-
eh? It's just
It is.
I live, I breathe, I
Yeah.
love,
I receive
I
because I'm a
receive.
part of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. I know. If we could just whittle our lives down to those simple concepts, imagine how happier, what a happier place we might be living in.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that people say sometimes it should be so simple, but we make it complicated
Yeah, we do.
when we
I
don't
think we
have
do.
to.
No, I know. I know. And hopefully that's what people get when they come here Wednesdays. There's a little bit of I don't have to have just what it was.
Exactly.
I get to choose something else. So we'll catch up a little bit later with you, sir.
Sounds good.
Thank you again. And the fabulous Ms. Carrie. Hello, Carrie. I just want to say
Hello.
it's so good to be here with you on this side of the camera.
Right?
As
Totally.
I stated, we've been on the opposite side of the camera before, you and I. So just really, really good to have you here on this side.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And thank you for the fabulous meditation too. That was you really, you know what? I love the concept that you had about, pick something small, right? When
Practice.
people practice, when we first came into this philosophy, and I know, a lot of people don't ever like to hear it again, but it was like, well, you want to start manifesting, pick a parking spot, start manifesting parking spots, grow from there, but start
Yes.
manifesting parking spots, see what happens.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
listen, my dear, what have you been letting go this month?
What have I not been letting go? That might be an easier question to answer.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. Anything you want to share?
Everything, but I'll try not to. I'll release what I don't get time to share.
We have time. We're good.
So, because I did a big release about this time last year, going from my house to my condo. So I went from, like 1,200 square feet down to 600 minus square feet. So I released a lot and it felt amazing. This year, I'm helping my mother release because she's moving out of her place and she's going to be moving into a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm also, so I talk about the light grasp. I'm also walking with my father through his end of life. And that could be anywhere from, a couple of months to a couple of years. We're not sure. He is 91, but I'm watching his begin to, the light grasp and the release of being completely cogent and aware all the time, him releasing what he's able to do, me releasing what our relationship used to be. So there's a lot of emotional release there going on for me this month. I also went up to Thunder Bay. I was there with my birth aunt because my birth mother died a couple of years ago. And we went through more photos. So I was releasing her memories because they're actually not my memories.
Right.
And it was stickier. It was interesting because we were actually at one point we were shredding papers, like shredding documents. And some of them were over 2 years old. And my aunt said, when I do this, I feel like I'm shredding a piece of Jackie. And I thought, well, maybe we don't have to think of it this way. Maybe we can think of it as releasing her from this paperwork so that she can be lighter.
Right.
She's not going anywhere. She's still around us. She's still with us. But what if it makes her feel lighter?
Right.
Right.
Well, that's a brilliant perspective.
I thought so. So I've been doing a lot of releasing and working with people releasing.
Oh, good. Well, you know what? So that's, to me, that's incredible. And just, you know what? And I can relate to some of that. Actually, I got the papers from the CRA that I was executor to my brother's will. And it came in, and my sister and I are executors to the will. And it came in and we both were like, oh my God, there's nothing left to do for him because we cared for him our entire lives, right? Because he was 4 when mom passed. So that you just saying that just reminded me of that that I was releasing, and that you have to experience what comes up because it's there.
Mhm.
Absolutely, it's there. And so you may not even know that you need to release something until it's in your face, whether it's relationship with your dad or the changed relationship with your father through his journey. And then I love that you're helping your mother go through the same experience of the things that you went through as well. Cheers. Yes, people are so lucky to have you in their life.
Thank you.
That's what comes to mind. And you kind of already talked about this a little bit, but how do you release something when it feels really hard to let go of? You talked about it a bit in your meditation, but maybe if you want to speak to that, because there's
I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Because I do have some challenges. I have some challenging relationships that are crunchy and they're uncomfortable. And there is a lot to release around them and release what was, or even my perception of what was, because I don't even know how truly it was what I thought it was. And it's taking the time it takes. And I'm working on this concept of the light grasp. And I do want to give credit to Father Gregory Boyle. He's the founder of Homeboy Industries. And he's also the author of Tattoos on the Heart and Barking to the Choir. And every time I feel a bit lost within myself, I actually go back to his books and I listen to them because he reads them himself. And he talks about this idea of the light grasp. Can I share you a bit from his book?
Yeah, absolutely, because I've heard of him before.
Oh yeah, he founded the largest gang intervention and rehabilitation organization in the world, basically. So he works with homies all the time.
Right.
But he's talking about his friend Jeanette, and he says she was the champion of the idea of not holding on to things, and yet, by her own admission, struggled with it all her life. Clinging was the constant of the suffering she endured. It gave her rope burn. Indeed, at its worst, clinging kept her from cherishing. So then he goes on to share this story. One day, they went and saw a movie, and then they ate at a fancy Chinese restaurant next door to the theater. And 3 days later, she called me. "You're not going to believe this," she said. "After we had dinner the next day, I wasn't feeling well. So I went to the doctor." Now, you're not going to believe this. The doctor said I had acute leukemia. I was silent. And then she added, "I'm never going to that Chinese restaurant again." And they laughed, and they laughed, and they laughed. And she said, when he told that story at her funeral, he said she had arrived finally at the light grasp. So it turns out when you're bound by nothing, you can go beyond sorrow. It can't get a foothold. So I love this idea of the light grasp. So
yes,
we're not ready to let it go. What does it feel like to just have a light grasp? Or a lighter grasp? 10%, give it away 10%.
Yeah.
And another day, give it away 10% more.
Right. And unconsciously, like I was just thinking that unconsciously we do that in our life, even when we let go of something big that we think we're done with and it comes back again. Maybe it's that we let it go to the degree that we could at that particular time. Yes. And now that we're evolved in a new time, we can now dig those roots out a little deeper, right? We can start to dig a little deeper because we're at a different place. So love that concept. Thank you for sharing that reading. That's amazing too. So here's the question, we talk about freedom. And freedom being, how does releasing something allow us to have the freedom to choose and to replace? How does that work?
Absolutely. If we can release things, like if we can release our preconceived notions, if we can even release the plan, then there's space for a different plan. If we can release some of the beliefs about ourselves, then we can have room for new beliefs. And we can walk lighter. Since I've got rid of, I'm running out of things to get rid of, but I will still go through my stuff.
Yeah.
And I will find stuff to get rid of because I feel so light afterward.
Yeah.
I really do. Less things to take care of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I know.
Yes.
I know. right?
And even in our minds, even in our beliefs, there's less beliefs to take care of, less like heavy
Yeah.
beliefs to take care of. Like the namaste, let that be somebody else's to take care of.
Yeah,
I'm
and
good.
living it. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that because truly, and then the freedom, the choice comes in when we can actually say, I don't live there anymore. I no longer need to pick that
Don't
up.
live there anymore.
Isn't that nice? Like I don't live
Yeah.
there anymore. I lived there even 10 minutes ago. That space is now done. I lived there for 50 years. I can now release that and let it go because I've carried it long enough. Darn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I want room
Yeah.
for only things that bring joy in my life. I want room for all of the things that make me happy because it's a choice and I get to make it. Right. And that's
Every
what
time.
release, that is what release can do if we really hone in on that. For sure,
Yes.
Carrie. Carrie, it
Yes.
is such a pleasure to spend time with you. We could have spent the whole
Thank
time
you.
just you and I having a
Chit chat
chat.
about that.
And I can do that one time. Let's do that one time. Who cares? So
Sure.
what? Right? We'll do that. But meanwhile, I would like, if you've got the affirmation with you, if you could
I
read the
do.
affirmation, that would be great. And again, thank you
Okay.
for this inspiring talk. Thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay, here is the affirmation. I am free to be whatever I choose. I'm going to say it again, and I just want everybody to take it in. I am free to be whatever I choose. And one more time, and we're going to all say it. I am free to be whatever I choose.
Namaste, Carrie. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
And listen, I will see you on the other side of this talk. And thank you again. Just so lovely to be with you. And thank you everyone for choosing to spend your consciousness with us here today, or we're happy to be watching it. Our focus this month, as Carrie has said, is release. And that is release anything that doesn't serve you from where you are right now. That is, as Carrie said, any stories, beliefs, ideas that have brought you to this point in your life. So how has release been for you this month? Are there any beliefs that you find that you're not able to let go of? That's okay. As part of our journey, it's okay to hold on to some things that bring us comfort. Are you letting go of some of the things that you thought are no longer serving your highest good, but you're not willing to let them go yet? That's okay too. I heard someone say this week that every time I think that I've let go of something or that I'm making these big changes in my life from negative to positive, then all of a sudden they start to return. That they have a good feeling for a little while, for a few days, and then somehow they go back to what it is that they didn't want. And does that happen to you as well? Do you get stuck, feel stuck in some of the changes that you're making? Remember this, that when we're making significant changes in our lives, there are bound to be roots in there, as we said, deep roots that hold on to those old beliefs, especially if we've got reward from it, right? Sometimes there's rewards that we get from holding on to things like an old story. I mean, maybe that old story helps define who you are. A great example is, my teacher always said that I did this. And even though, I was much younger then, at that time, it gave me an identity. It helped me believe that I was the smartest in the class or that I had to be the best. So I hold on to it. Maybe you're holding on to a marriage that is not loving. And, we know that we're not fulfilled, but we stay because maybe there's comfort. Maybe we get comfort from it, or there's financial stability, or we stay because we think of the children, right? And the point is here that I'm trying to make is that, we're getting something out of it. And perhaps it's friendships. And, those friendships no longer serve us the way that they used to. Or maybe something's changed in them. So we may hold on to them, to that friendship, because it represents part of our past, part of who we are and how we identify. Again, these are just examples of why we may hold on to things that no longer serve us, even though we know that they're not great for us, but we get something out of it. And we don't have to make drastic changes. I mean, that's the other thing. When I love Carrie's, letting it go lightly, right? I love that. We think about drastic change in friendships because maybe it's no longer serving, but it doesn't have to be drastic changes. We can let go. We can let go of some things. There may be valid reasons for to stay in that marriage. There may be valid reasons for that friendship, but maybe it's softly letting it go. It's just, letting go of some of the boundaries that we had, or creating boundaries that we require. Maybe it's not changing the whole thing, it's just changing some things about it. The idea is that we have to look at all areas of our life that need changing, and we have to be willing to look at them, to really, really review them, and then be willing to make some changes with them if they're not serving us. If they're not the best for you, then we can start to let them go. So once you identify what needs to change, make the changes, just do it. And here's the thing, if it's old habits or thoughts that keep coming back, stop believing that change is possible, just stop believing that change is not possible. Don't go back to the old ways. Remember that true change, true freedom, true choice, the choice to choose sometimes takes some time. It takes some time, and sometimes we have to revisit some of those old things as well. It requires that you consciously turn away from the focus of the things that you want to change and start to look at the conditions of your life differently. Start to allow those changes that are happening, start to do it consciously, and then let go of what's behind you. Whatever held your belief for so long, you can start to let that go. I read something this morning that I thought was perfect for this theme this month, and it says, I love this: focus on what you want to experience now and not what you are leaving behind. How many of us long for the old, when really focus on what you want to experience now, not what you are leaving. Give yourself permission to move forward. You have grown in so many ways. It's time to say farewell to the old version of you and to create change. I love that. Give yourself permission to move forward. You have grown in so many ways. It's time to say farewell to the old version of you, because the truth is, in this moment, there is a new you waiting to be discovered, right? Know that. So it does take a degree of faith. One of the things that we sometimes leave out is that there's faith involved when it comes to letting go. You have to have faith that you're going to be okay. I was thinking the other day, some of the birds are emerging from nests and things here. I was thinking the other day about the comfort zone that a nest must be. That bird, think about what comfort he has to leave in order to fly, right? Now, the bird could just stay in the nest forever and never know the feeling of flying, and yet it wouldn't be comfortable in that nest for very long. It's not born to stay in the nest, but it's born to fly. It's born to be a bird. We are the same, aren't we? We're meant to evolve into a higher version of who we are, the truth of who we are meant to be. We each have our own gifts to be discovered and to be lived, to get to this higher self, to get to this truth of who we are. We are not, when we're not living our truth, we may begin to think, is this all there is? You start to get the humdrums in life, right? And when we start to say, is this all there is? No, there is so much more to be lived. But think back where you came from. Think back about, think about how you got where you are now. Life has revealed to you all the things that have brought you to this place. Allow that with gratitude and love to be acknowledged that you're here because this is where you are. Faith is the driver that makes all the changes we desire in life to show up. Ralph Waldo Emerson, who's one of my favorites, by the way, says, faith is the driver of belief. Faith is the driver of my belief in demonstration. Faith is the driver in the belief of my demonstration. He also goes on to say, it's an energetic flow of consciousness and knowingness that's beyond facts and the relative. The facts and the relatives, everything that's before you is exactly what it is right now. But the truth is there's something higher that can be known through this. And if you start to live, it's an energetic flow of consciousness. That's how we start to make changes in our life. And it's the faith behind the belief. So do you believe that you are meant to live a life that's happy? Do you believe that you're meant to live a life that is fulfilled? What does that feel like when you think of that? And think of it from where you are now, not old story, not holding anything back. When we have the vision to know what it is that we want out of life, and then we realize that we have the power required to choose and receive it, and we take action to support it, that is when we're living a fulfilled life, because it changes us. Something inside of us changes. Like the bird in the nest, it leaves and flies. So imagine how scary that must be. I was thinking about that too. Imagine how scary it must be, that first flight, and this little thing looks over at the nest, but it continues to do what it does until it knows only that, to fly, exactly as it was meant to. It was meant to fly, and it does. Humans experience the same thing. I mean, I think of babies, and when a baby learns to walk and we get all excited, it's like, come to me, come to me. And then the baby learns how to use the potty, and we explode with excitement. Oh, that's wonderful. Good job. And they stand and clap. And at some point, walking and pooping become normal. They're not so exciting anymore. But imagine if at 38 years old, you come out of the bathroom and someone claps for you. They're like, yay, good job. Or you get up off the couch and someone says, come see me, come, right? I mean, and claps for you as you do it. I mean, we don't just stay there, we evolve. And the same is true with our consciousness and our mind and our choices. We grow, we evolve, our expectation changes, and we're supposed to evolve. I love the meme that I see, and I see it often. It's a caterpillar talking to a butterfly, and it says to the butterfly, it says, you've changed. And the butterfly says, that's because we're supposed to. We are supposed to evolve. So why not do it with choice? Why not choose the life you want? Why not do that consciously? Choose the life you want now, and not the life you had, that you had so far. It's brought you here. Evolve from here. Jump off the diving board from here. This is a second note that I read today too. Happens to be, and it's always like that when I focus on something, it brings it up. And I love this. It says, you are not stuck. You are being propelled on the path that is for you. After a pause, after dreaming and envisioning, you bring in to life what you want. Isn't that incredible? When you envision it, when you start to see it, realize that that's that's yours, your path, that is yours. There's so many things that we do in life that we just do sometime unconsciously, but know that after a pause, after dreaming and envisioning, take a pause, and then envision, you bring into being what you want. You get to do that. Envision and release what does not support that, and bring into being what you want out of life. Like that's what we're here for. Do what the birds do. Leave the nest. Fly, my friends. Fly. Do exactly as the birds do. That's what I wish for everyone. That's what I hope Release does. I hope that it brings you to that point where you can fly. As Carrie says, it makes you lighter. So make that choice this week. Fly and be light. Namaste, everyone. Namaste. And, if those words resonate for you, that's fantastic. As you know, this center is run on donation. So anything that you can help us out with is awesome and wonderful. And even just having your consciousness here is also incredible. So thank you for that. If you do want to make a donation, please do so by going to the Toronto Global Truth Center.com. You can also do it by sending info@globaltruthcentertoronto.com. So those are some options for you. There's some options there on our website. And while you're there, why not sign up for our newsletter if you haven't already done it? The more information about classes will be coming for the fall. So we'll be having I know that we'll be having some workshops with Lesia, and there will be others as well. So I know that there are a whole bunch of newly minted ministers and people who've become doctors who are putting together some terrific courses. So we're going to have those as well. And at this point, I'd just like to do some thank yous. Carrie on tech, thank you. Doing double duty tonight, not just on tech, but also creating a beautiful meditation that explains exactly how to release. I love that. And feel free to go back and watch it if you're watching with us. Thank you, Carrie. Pierre, our fabulous musician who does show up every single week. Pierre, with your smile and your energy and your heart and your music and your talent, thank you. Can't thank you enough. You're an amazing individual, and I'm just so glad to be able to call you friend. So thank you. And thank you to the community again for showing up whenever you show up, for participating in this energy, for taking this energy and going out into the world. Speaking of energy, Pierre, I love the song that you're about to sing. So please take it away send everybody out with this beautiful song.
Okay, this actually was my first song I ever wrote. It's called Soul Song.
Woo, I'm dying to hear it.
You don't have to look far to see who you are. Take a peek inside. What did you find? We desire peace and harmony, paired with life's rhythmic melody. If your soul had a song, what would it be? Would you sing it loud and proud, describing you to a T? If your soul had a song, what would it be? Could you sing it carefree, with nothing to hide? You get what you see. What song sets you free? Your soul song legacy. Your soul song legacy. If that song you heard doesn't particularly strike the right chord with you, doesn't tickle your fancy, change the word, style, composition, shift your state of mind, it'll send your soul in a new direction. And if your soul had a song, what would it be? Could you sing it carefree, with nothing to hide? You get what you see. What song sets you free? Your soul song legacy. Your soul song legacy. You have yours, I have mine. They won't sound the same, we're bound to find. Oh, but whatever you choose your song to be, sing it with all you got. Let your joy, passion flow free, flow free. If your soul had a song, what would it be? Could you sing it carefree, with nothing to hide? Get what you see. What song sets you free? Your soul song legacy.
Yay! Awesome. Oh, I love that's your first. That was your first song.
That was the
Gee,
first one.
so incredible. Thank you. Listen, everybody, take that message out into the world. Go sing your song, man. Sing it your way. As Henry David Thoreau says, if a man marches to a different beat, it is perhaps because he hears a different drummer. So
Exactly.
go into the world, everyone. Play your song, make it your song, release everything that doesn't serve. And next month's themes, adventure. Get on the adventure. Awesome. Everybody, have a good night. Thank you for showing up. Namaste, everyone.